So good morning. We are going to go over something called athletic balance. Athletic balance is what makes an athlete stand out among other athletes. It's what makes someone do something better than all the other athletes out there. And the better your athletic balance is, the lower the probability of injury. And that's why it's important to be aware of athletic balance, because it doesn't apply only to athleticism. It applies to day-to-day life. And there's a formula, or there's a statement I love. It was by a doctor I listened to once, and that is that athletic balance and good posture are synonymous. So good posture and athletic balance are one and the same. So the more that you can work on posture, the more that you're going to have athletic balance. And that's why when you see an Olympic level athlete, they tend to walk on the scene with really good posture. And if someone's a swimmer and has really good posture and you were to challenge them to a ping pong match, that may not be their forte, but eventually they will get it because they have athletic balance, because they learned it through swimming. And that's why as we're going through this, we're going to look at athletic balance and how it impacts us. Because Maria and I have started doing something called pickleball, and it's a wide array of people who are athletes that are trying to come to the sport. And the biggest thing that we see is the loss of athletic balance, but specifically what is called the athletic ready stance. That's where you bend your lower extremities and you're tall through your upper extremities, and you're activating what's called the righting reflex. So your head is over top of your body evenly. And because of lifestyle and habituation of certain bad habits, we see a lot of people go out there and they're rounding their spine and they're straightening their legs, so they feel a huge impact on their legs. And so we see them wearing knee braces and all sorts of different things like that on their knees, and having complaints of their knees, their back, and their neck. But what's really interesting is the body will get athletic balance no matter what, and it will try to get it any way it can. So what we see is we have this overly arched upper back, the abs are shut off, and you're going to see, instead of bending the legs into this position to get athletic balance, we see the bow-legged behavior happening. So you get people out there like this that have a lot of knee problems. They can barely bend their knees because they're not activating knee flexion, and their legs are adapting that lowering any way they can. So they either get really bow-legged or they get really knock-kneed. So we're going to work on getting that athletic balance of just being able to bend the knees, but in order to bend the knees, we got to stretch the knees in order to activate that. So we're going to look at that athletic balance. So we shall start from the top. We're going to start with feet parallel, hips width apart. Here's your ASIS. Here's your pubic symphysis. Midway in between is your hips width apart. Now your feet are going to be parallel based upon your second toe. You're going to bend those knees, so we want to put a bend in it. Your hips are going to go back. So the shock absorption happens through major muscles, your quads and your butt. When your legs go out bow-legged, it's going to go through your joints. That's why we want work muscles and not joints. So knees are slightly bent. There is a turnout because we're trying to spiral or helix the energy up your legs. And then we're going to push down big toe in the corresponding metatarsal head, outer foretoes into corresponding metatarsal heads, but especially that pinky toe, and finally that heel. And really feel this next part as you put 1/3 the weight through the balls of your feet, 1/3 the weight through your toes, and finally 1/3 the weight through your heels. We're going to do this a few times. I just want you to bend. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to try to keep your upper body upright. Keep your abs engaged. We're going to just feel what it feels like to bend those extremities, keeping the lower half of the body dynamic. Don't let your legs, we're not going in super bowed, but we are making sure of that alignment over the tops of the knees as we're working major muscles and not minor muscles or even joints. Okay, then we're going to come back to standing. We're going to activate the next piece. That's pelvic floor or first chakra, lower abs or second chakra. Third chakra is your upper abs. Draw your shoulder blades down and back, get your head over the top of the body, and already you should be feeling like that Academy Award kind of position. We're going to do it again. You're going to squat down, keeping your abs engaged this time. Really focus on feeling what it feels like to stabilize the abs so no work goes into that low back. Feel what it feels like to bend those knees. And more importantly, especially if you're recovering stuff, I want you to breathe. See what it feels like to take in a breath and exhale out as we activate major muscle groups, because these major muscle groups need oxygen. And that's why in general they're considered dark meat when you go to get a turkey or a chicken, because they're high in something called myoglobin, so they like oxygen. So keep breathing. Okay, now you're going to put your roller off to your right side. You're going to grab a hold of your right foot with your left hand. Your chest is up, abs are nice and tight. Shoulder blades are down and back. Square out your shoulders as we once again do our squat over the top of our left leg. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy, and you're seeing what it feels like to move through your leg versus your back. To have your knee go in the proper direction instead of out to the side. Keep your abs engaged, keep that breathing going. Keep breathing. And. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. Rollers off to your left as you grab hold of your left leg with your right hand. Abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down the back, and you're gonna bend and straighten. Feel what it feels like to bend and straighten that leg. We're working on athletic posture. So this is the athletic ready posture. You have to be able to bend your knees, keep your upper body upright, and your head over the top of your base. Abs are nice and tight, sucking that tummy. Nine and 10. Oh, Miss Maria's here. So we are standing still. We're going to go into the next piece that causes that nice bow-legged, rounded spine position. We're going to stretch out your calves. She's coming. Your feet are parallel, your knees are over tops of your feet, abs are engaged. We're going to pump our hips forward. Chest up, smiles up. Feel the lengthening of gastrocnemius. This is one of the biggest culprits in rounding out that spine. So we're going to lengthen the gastrocnemius as we draw the shoulder blades down and back, chest is up nice and tall. I was just explaining to them how we see at pickleball, instead of lowering the body down, they bowl their legs and around their spine. We're going to instead work on proper alignment of sagittal motion through the knees. Okay, we're going to switch real quickly. I know we go through other things normally, but we're going to open up these calf muscles to get posture. Yes. Is that Wolfie? Yeah. Can you fix the curtain? Abs are nice and tight, sucking that tummy. Really feel that gastrocnemius stretching out. Keep your abs engaged. Notice when you start losing things. Because we're avoiding that old man posture, that old man bow-legged posture. Wolfie's all over the place this morning, isn't she? Okay. We're going to come back to your left side. You're going to go on your left knee. We're going to make sure the left knee can bend. Take your roller off to the left side. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. We're starting out with hip circles. We're activating that riding reflex once again, so we want the head over the top of the block. Sucking that tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Chest is up. There's a lot of noise going on here today. We got blowers and trimmers and horn honking opposite direction. Keep that tummy sucked in. We're trying to create motion through the hips. Every athletic motion comes from a hip circle. So now we're starting to talk not only about athletic posturing, but athletic motion. As we do circular motion through the hips, take your, what is this, right hand, grab a hold of that left foot. Pull that heel to your butt, and then we're gonna stretch forward. Chest goes up, shoulder blades are down and back, abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. And breathe. Hips forward, breathe. Suck in that tummy. We're gonna rotate even more to the right. As you breathe and smile up. Relax your mouth as you breathe. Stretch, abs. Okay, and we're gonna switch sides.
She's afraid of the hooves. I thought she doesn't want to go outside.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Abs are nice and tight, sucking your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Head is over top of the block. Hip circles. Remember, every athletic motion is hidden in a hip circle, so get that motion nice and round. Breathe. Notice when you stop breathing. So the third part of athleticism is the ability to breathe. Yep. We're gonna go a little bit longer on this. Abs are nice and tight. Keep that head over top of the block. And good. Now you're gonna take your left hand, grab a hold of your right foot, pull that heel to your butt. We're gonna stretch forward, open that rectus femoris up. Suck in that tummy. And now you're gonna rotate to the left. Keep breathing, keep smiling. Jaws relaxed, smiles are up. Feel the stretch. As we start to bend the quads, or stretch the quads so you can bend the knees, so you can lower down instead of bowing your legs out. The knee only has one motion, as flexion and extension, so you shouldn't need knee braces if you have proper motion through the knees. Okay, go ahead, release that foot. We're gonna come back up to standing. We're gonna see how things feel. Feet are parallel, knees are bent. Knees over tops of feet, abs are nice and tight, chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. And remember, unless those knees can bend, you're gonna go into bow-legged and you're gonna slightly lean forward, and this is what all the old people with doing pickleball with the knee braces on look like. Instead, we're gonna keep that body upright, head over top of the ball, slightly bend your knees. We're gonna go into that deep squat position, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy, you're gonna balance, lift up your leg, and then lower it down. We're gonna do the opposite side. We're just going back and forth. See what it feels like to bring your knee above the level of your hip. Notice that our toes point down as we do this. It's not pointed forward, it's not that, it's this. Abs are nice and tight. Try not to move your head too much. It will move a little, it has to. But we don't want it so much that you fall over if you were to close your eyes. Chest up. No rounding your spine. This is athletic motion. Opposite hand, opposite foot. What number is that?
16.
Okay. Abs, chest up.
20.
Okay, good. Hip circles. What number is that?
Yeah.
Opposite direction? Maria's here now, so she's counting. Because apparently I can't count. Okay. Now we go into some of the motions that we saw. So the other thing we saw is people like to keep their legs as straight as possible even though they're bowing out. And they don't want to bend their knees because they're weakening. So we're gonna work on that. You're gonna go into our normal lunge position that we go into. Our feet are parallel, front knee is bent, knees over the top of your foot. Chest is up, abs nice and tight, your lats are on, shoulder blades are down and back. High heel in the rear, you're gonna bend that front leg. We're gonna take that foot a little further back. You'll see why in a second. You're gonna push your hips back further. And this is where we work the quad strength. The front leg, abs are nice and tight, you're gonna bend into it, and then you're gonna come out of it. It's like a lunge. Suck in that tummy. So you're bending and changing the angle at your knee. There should be no pressure in your knee. It should be in the quad muscle, not in the joint. If it's in the joint, you've turned off muscles. We're trying to keep muscles on. Okay, stay in your most farthest forward position. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna hinge forward from the hip and then come back up. And this is where we really saw it in pickleball when they had to reach. And we're gonna talk about the next dilemma that happens in athleticism as you break down as an athlete. Remember that?
10.
Okay, staying in that forward position, you're gonna lift up that rear foot and then put it back exactly in the same spot. Lift and lower. This is teaching you to load that front leg in a bent position using muscles and not your joints. Abs are engaged. First, second, third chakras are fired up. Your head doesn't move. Smiles are up and you're breathing. Okay, we're switching sides. Take that rear leg back behind you, front leg is bent. Abs are nice and tight. Then you're gonna take that leg a little further back behind you. We're working on this front knee, so watch the alignment. We're gonna lunge forward and then back. All the work is going into your quad and your butt, nothing's going into your low back because your abs are engaged and your spine is straight. We are working muscles and not joints, so you shouldn't feel your knee at all. Smiles are up. There you go, breathe. Okay, from this most forward position, abs are nice and tight. You're gonna hinge forward and back. Suck in that tummy. What number is that?
10.
Okay, stay forward. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna lift lower that rear leg, putting it back to the same spot every time. Your head doesn't move. All the work is in your quad muscle and your glute max. Abs are engaged, lats are on, and you're breathing. Because if you're not breathing, you're gonna pass out or feel fatigued.
10.
Okay, good. Standing on 2 feet again, we are gonna do hip circles. So the next thing that we noticed in athletes as they started to decondition is the inability to lengthen. So I'll show you as soon as we finish our hip circle in the opposite direction. Suck in your tummy. In the beginning, pickleball player, and this is the only reason this is so in our minds right now, is the inability to lengthen. So they didn't want to move off midline. So they're shorting the ball or they completely miss the ball. But the overhead smash is where they missed it the most. Because they couldn't lengthen out of their extremity and be tall, they shorted like this so they'd miss. And then they thought they jumped when they would only do this instead of reaching and jumping. I have to be careful not to hit the roof. It is learning how to lengthen out of the upper extremity. And that's how many of them could not do. And that's why we're gonna do that right now. So we're gonna come to the floor. So probably the most interesting thing to notice though from last night, going to pickleball, there was a group that started pickleball about the same time as we did. And what we're starting to notice is everyone's posture is starting to get better. Everyone's overall fitness is getting better. Their ability to bend the lower extremities and lengthen that upper body is improving because their athletic ability is improving and their physical fitness and conditioning is improving. And overall, they're just looking a whole lot better as humans. Before they were looking kind of old. Their butts are starting to round out. Their quads are getting stronger. We're seeing muscular development. Okay, so now we're going to work on that upper body. So we're going to go into this forward fold position, much like child's pose, sort of. Only you're going to reach out your arms as far as you possibly can and push your hips back. We're trying to stretch and lengthen through the shoulders But the goal here is to be so far forward you can't lift your arms up. If you can lift your arms up, you're in the shortened position. See if I can lift my arms up. But if I go into that lengthened position, I cannot lift up my arms. Keep your abs engaged. You're sucking your tummy. We're working on that overhead smash that we kept seeing people make mistakes on. They couldn't even see, which was fascinating, their overhead smash, because their head couldn't tip back. They had to keep their head in flexion. So this is why this is so important to be able to do this. And now that you're in this position, I want you, with your head, look at your thumbs. Stay with your spine arched. It's just getting a deeper stretch. Keep first, second, and third chakras on. We're gonna be here just a little bit longer. Keep your arms straight. And then come back to kneeling. It is also through this game pickleball that I've learned that I'm left-handed and not right-handed. Or maybe it's right eye dominant or left eye dominant, I'm not sure.
Except when you serve.
Except when I serve, when I become right-handed again. Okay, we're gonna stretch over to the right. Same thing, if you are close enough that you can lift your hands up, you're not far enough into the stretch. You should be to the point you cannot lift up your arms. Push your hips back, abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in that tummy, first, second, and third chakra stabilizing. We are opening up the latissimus dorsi on the left. Ooh. Keep breathing. Okay, we're gonna come back up again. You should be all sort of stretched out on that one side of your body. Take a deep breath, and we're gonna do the other side of your body. Keep breathing, keep your abs engaged, keep pushing your hips back, reaching out with your arms. You shouldn't be able to lift them up. Open up that flank. Suck in that tummy, and you're breathing. This is your right latissimus dorsi opening up. And good, you're coming back to center. So you should feel very long through your torso, long through your neck. Go ahead and reach your arms over the top of your head. This is what people couldn't do last night, and that's why they couldn't do their overhead smash. Lift up nice and tall. Okay, we are just gonna take one arm out to the side, like this. You're gonna put your other arm in a rotated position like that. You're gonna do a rotation outward. It's a slight stretch, it's not a big stretch. Stick your butt out. Elongate your spine. It's not a big motion. Don't worry. And then we're gonna come back to center and switch sides. I don't have much space. Yeah. Okay. Notice if one side feels different than the other side. Keep breathing. Okay, and then we're going to come back up again as we now curl our toes under. So your toes are curled under. We're going to push back, push back, push back, push back. So if you feel like your toes are going to snap off, that really means you have to push your toes back because we're stretching out the plantar fascia and the Achilles tendon into the calf muscle. We're going to lean back in the opposite direction. Your abs are nice and tight. Chest is up. Squeeze those legs together. Suck in that tummy. We're going to do sit-ups from here. Suck it in and release. Suck it in and release. Jaws relaxed and you are breathing. Elongate that spine. No rounding your spine. You should feel no pressure in your low back because you're tightening your abs, as well as no pressure in your knees. Okay, we're going to come forward now. We're going to point our toes as we lean back once again, lifting our knees off the ground. This is going to catch the front of your legs and your toes. Suck in that tummy and release. What is that? What number?
10.
10. Okay. We're going to do our new favorite. You're going to curl those toes under, and we're going to push back into a squat. And then back, or not squat, into a forward fold from a squat. Back and forth. And back and forth. Working long angles and working short angles. Make sure those knees only go forward, no aberrant motions of going to side or medial. Keep your abs engaged. No pressure in your low back or your knees. You should feel this in muscles and not joints. What number?
9.
Okay, we're gonna hang out here now. Keep your abs engaged. Okay, and then you're going to bend your knees. Put your hands on your knees as you go into recovery position. We're going to do sit-ups from here. You're going to suck in your tummy as close as you can to get your navel to your spine, and then release. Navel to your spine, release. Continue to do this. Chest up, shoulder blades down and back. Keep that pelvic floor on. On this last one, keep your abs engaged, and you're going to slowly come up. If you feel dizzy and your blood pressure dropping, just go back into this position until it feels normal again. Abs are engaged, shoulder blades are down and back. We're going to re-look at this athletic ready stance. So you should be able to push your hips back, your knees bend, and we're going to start doing some of the work of the arms. I want you to reach up over the top of your head and out to the sides. Not very hard, so we're really work on it. Keep your abs engaged, especially at the top. Feel what it feels like to reach. Your hands are inside a giant tube and you're touching all the walls of the inside of the tube. And like I said, those people couldn't do an overhead smash because they couldn't do this motion. We're going to do it in an athletic ready position. That means knees are over knees are bent, but still knees are over tops of feet. Okay, what number is that? Okay, that's 10. Okay, now we're going to take our arms from the back to the front. Abs are nice and tight. We're just doing all the axes of rotation around the shoulder joint. Keep your abs engaged. Don't straighten your legs as much as they want to, but stay long through the arms. Because we get so used to using our smartphones and our computers that our arms have shortened and our ability to reach has diminished. What number is that?
10.
Okay, and now we're going to do this way. Keep your abs engaged, be as long as you can. There's a guy I follow on Instagram. He's an incredible artist, and he sketches people on the subway in New York City. But I noticed one thing I really have a difficult time watching, as amazing artist as he is, as young as he is, and how loving he is his handshake. Because when he shakes people's hands after he gives them the drawings and instantly becomes their friends, which is amazing to me, is he shakes people's hands short. He doesn't do a long handshake. That's truly reaching. I'll show you what I mean. Nothing's worse than someone shakes your hand like this. When you want to reach for someone, you reach your arm out. That's a handshake. And the other thing is he also ends up shorting a handshake, so he ends up doing this. So his arm is bent and he does this weird finger thing. Whereas if you really wanted to get to know someone, you step into it and then you now lean in slightly, and that makes connection. And so watching him over and over do this short little truncated thing as a young viable male is just, it's hard for me to watch. Okay, we continue. You're gonna take your right leg forward, left leg back. We're gonna cross midline. We're really gonna continue to work on bending that front extremity by bending it and making sure that it stays bent. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. You're gonna release the roller, you're not gonna use it now. You're gonna stretch forward like you're reaching for something. Reach out, and then you're gonna come back up. Keep your abs engaged, no pressure in your low back. If you feel pressure in your low back, it means you've turned off your abs and you're not truly reaching. What we're trying to do is with each reach, go a little bit further. And in doing so, you strengthen your core to make a longer reach, and suddenly you're getting those pickleball hits that you didn't think you could reach because you're strengthening up. And like I said, the people that started with us at about the same time are starting to get such better posture, and their butts are getting rounder because they can do things from their core. What number is that?
10.
All right, let's switch sides. Whew. Okay, your legs crossing midline, your front knee is bent. Then we're gonna bend it even more. Abs are nice and tight, your chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. Oops. Let me just move this off to the side. And then we're gonna reach. Reach forward. Feel what it feels like to reach. Your feet are parallel. Suck in your tummy as you reach as far as you can reach. Breathe and smile. Okay, come back to 2 feet. You're standing on 2 feet. We're going to work on the thing that's most disturbing for me to watch when people play pickleball.
You seem rather disturbed
I am
today.
disturbed by so many things I see on this court. Is we're going to bend over to pick up a ball. Oh, look at that. We have a ball. So we're going to use our little ball. Grab it.
I was just going to watch.
No watching. Okay, so this is the one that we cheat at the most and we want to round their spine. So what most people do is they try to grab the ball by rounding their spine and they end up hurting their back. We're going to do this properly, and we're going to do it a few times. You're going to bend your knee and then you're just going to shift. You're going to pick the ball up off the ground each time. Your knees are bending, your spine stays straight, there's spinal rotation going on, but your spine stays straight. Your hips are working, your quads are working, your butt is working, your pelvic floor is stabilizing as well as your abs. Is that 10? Okay. We used to do these, we're going to do them again. We haven't done them in a long time. Your stance is going to go wide. You're going to go from the outside of your right foot to the up on your left. The only thing your knees do is bend and straighten. They don't go medial or lateral. Your feet are parallel. Your abs are engaged. Long spine, strong legs.
Embody the Travolta.
Yes, your inner Travolta. I won't show you any images of John Travolta because apparently he is so protected. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to take the ball low on your left, high on your right. And really reach. I want you to reach as far as you can in both directions. Abs are engaged. Keep breathing. Bend your knees. Your knees better bend. So even when I'm over to the right, notice how my right leg bends. Okay, good. All right. Ball goes to the ground again, little ball that is. We're gonna just roll out our foot. Roll, roll, roll. Keep your feet parallel. Another P from pickleball. Abs are nice and tight. So out there playing pickleball, sometimes when we play at Kailua District Park, we'll see these super fit people playing pickleball, and their feet are always parallel. Keep breathing, keep your abs engaged, keep smiling. You can do your heel, lateral aspect of your foot, ball of your foot, toes, or the arch of your foot. You can even go side to side as long as your feet stay parallel. And you're breathing. Okay, switch sides. Roll, roll, roll. Abs are nice and tight. Chest is up. Side to side, suck in your tummies. Woo, doggy. Notice if one side's harder than the other, it shouldn't be. Okay, go ahead, take that ball out from underneath your foot. As we finish our last leg type exercise, you'll need your block again. Block goes under your right foot. Left foot goes back behind you parallel. Abs are nice and tight. Once again, we're just bending and straightening that front leg. Make sure that front knee stays over the top of your right foot. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Look at how much change there is in Maria's leg. The knee bends, but the rear leg stays straight. This is how you shock absorb in that front leg without it demolishing the joint. Okay, now stay in the most bent position. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna hinge forward and reach again. You're letting the roller assist you in reaching even further than you might normally reach. Sucking your tummy. And for those who have ever did assisted pull-up with like a TheraBand or something, by doing a pull-up with assistance, it's better than doing a pull-down machine because it keeps you in good form. And this is what this is doing. It's keeping you in good form. Straight spine. What number is that?
14.
Oh. I'll do 16. Is that 16? Okay, switch side. See? Felt good. Leg goes back behind you. That's your right leg. Front leg is bent, knees over top of your foot. Watch that alignment. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to hinge forward, and then you're going to bend and straighten that front leg. Notice how your calf can restrict what you think is a limited ankle, but it's actually a tight calf. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing. This will help you get those low balls. Or that pencil you drop on the ground without blowing out your back or your knee or your neck. You'll be surprised what Maria and I work with. Suck in your tummy. Really reach. Let the roller pull you forward more than you might normally go, teaching you to elongate even longer with support. Abs are engaged, no low back pressure. Okay, good. Come back onto 2 feet. See what it feels like to stand. You should feel nice and tall. You're breathing. Shoulder blades are down and back. You guys are looking awesome. And we're gonna head to the ground. Hang on to your block. We're gonna now use a fit ball because we're gonna do a little bit of pelvic floor work so we can get to abs. Okay, you're gonna have a seat on top of the ball. The ball's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Make sure it's not just under your tailbone, that's not so good. Abs are nice and tight, chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. Your head is over top of the ball. And will remain there. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. As you tighten your pelvic floor, tighten your abs. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Suck in that tummy and release. Oh, sorry, Mario. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Just feel what it feels like to squeeze and release. And now we're going to examine why that woman last night could not jump. Pickleball disturbed me greatly last night. Abs are nice and tight. Jumps come from your pelvic floor, and this is why as people's pelvic floor weakens, they stop jumping and they claim that they pee in their pants. We're going to work on it. You're going to jump. You're going to do it by tightening your pelvic floor, tightening your abs like you got a really bad case of the hiccups. And that's why if you've ever gotten a big bad case of the hiccups, it throws your balance off because it's moving your center so violently. We're going to do it intentionally. Feel what it feels like to create a ballistic lift from your abs. Hiccup, hiccup, hiccup. This is also strengthening your pelvic floor as you bounce on the ball. Your smiles are up. Keep breathing. Okay, from here we're going to do Maria's neck exercises. I'll let her lead those.
Okay, start rotating our neck in a circular motion, coming into flexion, and then back in extension. As you go into extension, engage your upper abs, your obliques as you transition through the side, your pelvic floor and lower abs as you come into flexion. Try to imagine that circle with your cervical spine, connecting to the circle through your abdomen. Keep breathing. Then go in the opposite direction, starting with our neck. Find that circular motion, and as you find that rhythm, connect to your abs. As you come into flexion, pelvic floor, lower abs, transitioning through the obliques, and then your upper abs.
Try to minimize the crunching and grinding of your cervical spine and connect more towards your core muscles so that minimizes. Okay. Now we're going to turn left and right. Keep your chest up. You should feel your back muscles as well as your abs working. You should feel spinal rotation not only in your cervical spine, but your thoracic spine and your lumbar spine. And your breathing. This is why pickleball is such a great introduction back into athleticism. It's not highly demanding and you could work as little as you want, but you can work on precision so you could become a good pickleball player. Or you can work on athleticism and much bigger motions and still have a game that you could play against an 80-year-old person who kicks your butt. Abs are nice and tight, sucking your tummy. We are going to take our right leg forward, abs are nice and tight. You're going to take your right hand forward, left hand back. We're going to work our twist. So what you're going to try to do is line up that knee over the, elbow over the top of the knee and then come back. You're sucking your tummy in to make this happen. You're using your lat muscle. You're keeping your chest up because we're working on an athletic ready position. That means the lower extremities are bent and the chest is upright and the head is level.
Exhale as you twist.
Chest up. Okay, and then we switch sides. Rotate that elbow over the top of your knee. Abs are engaged. And as Maria said on the other side,
Exhale as you switch.
breathing is so important in athleticism. We work with a dancer, and she noticed that all their routines are only 3 minutes long because that was the maximum amount of time she could hold her breath for. Okay, we're gonna bring both knees up. We're gonna go for a twist. We're twisting. Try not to move your head. Your head stays over the top of your body. In fact, don't rotate your head. You're rotating your torso. This is again working with that righting reflex, that we can move our body around and not have to upset level playing field, as they say. Abs are nice and tight. Okay, you're gonna take your ball, we're gonna put your foot to work. It goes underneath your left foot as you roll things out. Try to keep your feet parallel as you roll things out. You have to keep your abs engaged to stay on top of the ball. Don't let that ball go under your tailbone. It is in the middle of your pelvic floor. Suck in that tummy. Chest up. Athletic ready posture. And then switch sides. So notice that you want to round your spine as you do this. Try not to, because we're working on that athletic ready position. And good. Fall off to the side. We're going to do long motions. Once again, you dig your arms over the top of your head long. You're going to go side to side. You can go forward. You can go backwards. But you're going to reach, because you don't do this during the day. Nobody does. Unless, you know, during the day you convert into being a butterfly. Abs are nice and tight.
There is a choice.
I'd go for being butterfly.
Be a butterfly.
Long. Feel what it feels like to be long, not short and truncated. It's not this. You're not Carol Channing. You're someone really long, like Martha Graham, for those that even know who the hell those people are. Okay, arms come to your sides as we go for a walk. You're just lifting your heel and lowering, keeping your chest up. Athletic ready position means your spine is long. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Abs are nice and tight. And you're breathing. What number is that? Okay, good.
Are we going to sprint?
Okay, sprint, 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 sprint. But you gotta keep it opposite hand, opposite foot. Oh, and good. Okay, we're gonna come off the ball. Whoa. Ball's gonna go behind your back. I have to move the microphone, reminding myself, not you guys. Ball goes as small of the back, abs are nice and tight. We're only gonna do a little bit of sit-ups today. Abs are engaged. First, we're gonna put our hands back behind us. We're gonna open up those shoulders. I want you to take your hands as far back as you possibly can. It's just stretching out the anterior deltoid and some of your pec. Elongate your spine, so that means your chest comes up. Smiles are up, and you're breathing. We're gonna do sit-ups here. Suck in your tummy, and then release. Suck in your tummy, and then release. This is teaching you to be long in those upper extremities without falling into bad posture or loss of support. Oh. Keep breathing. Don't forget you have toes. Okay. I'm gonna move more towards center here. Now, keeping the ball in the small of your back, your abs are nice and tight. You're gonna take yourself through long motions through the center. Long motions, long motions. Yes, they are sit-ups. It's teaching you how to keep your core on and have long motions. We're going up through the center, then out. Up through the center and out. Abs are nice and tight. Keep breathing. Okay, and good. Hands go back behind you. Notice if you had to hold onto your legs in order to do this, this was an ab exercise where you don't hold your knees as you do it. We're going to do the opposite direction. We're going to tall and then back to center. Tall and back to center. Whoops. Knock the microphone off. Suck in that tummy. So it takes core strength to be long in the extremities, and that's why the woman couldn't do her overhead smash, because it was telling me she had a weak core. Keep breathing. Okay, hands go back behind you. We're going to work on push-ups in this position. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, hands go into push-up position. You're going to lean back further. You're going to push out as far as you can, and then you're going to bring yourself back up, push away, and bring back. Abs are nice and tight. Keep that tummy sucked in. Your hands basically stay in this exact same spot. It's your torso that's moving, and you're sucking in your tummy. Keep breathing. Bend and straighten your arms. I'm going to go to the side so you can see kind of what I'm doing. It's away and then forward. Away. It's like a mime. There's a wall here. How did this wall get here? I do not know. Push. Push. One more time. And good. Woo-hoo-hoo. We are going to arch over the top of the ball and rock from side to side. Rock, rock, rock your low back out. Counter stretch, flexion, because oftentimes we use the psoas muscle instead of the abs, and that's why your back gets sore. So keeping it out of the joints also means you have to use the correct muscles. You can use a muscle, but it doesn't mean it's the appropriate muscle. Okay? Ball goes underneath your sacrum. Knees or feet come off the ground, knees are bent. Just see what it feels like to stabilize first, second, third chakra. Tighten that pelvic floor. Hands are to the ground, and now you're going to drop. Because your knees should be able to bend without any pain or discomfort. So as you're doing this, and we're non-weight bearing, there's no pain in the knees. If there is, figure out what muscles you have to turn on to make this feel safe. None. We're just going to take our legs wide as we do the same thing. We're just bending and straightening. Okay, I'll move over. No, I'll move over. Oh. So in this class we have covered athletic ready posture and pickleball bad behaviors. Okay, and now we're going to go for a little walk first. No pressure in the knees because we're non-weight bearing. And then we're going to double time it. Then we're going to triple time it. Keep your abs engaged. And then we're going to Gillen time it super fast for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And straight legs, rock from side to side. So the neat thing about pickleball is it lasts, each match played, moderately well, will take no more than 20 minutes. No more than 20 minutes, except Mario, who will take an hour. I've never seen that before. It will take no more than 20 minutes, which is nice because it gets your cardiac threshold up And it will release endorphins, and that's why people like the sport so much, even though it's such an odd sport. Okay. You're gonna lay on the roller lengthwise now. I'm gonna change out the music as you guys set up. Okay, lay on your rollers lengthwise. Now that we got everything working again. See what it feels like to have your feet parallel, knees bent, knees over the tops of your feet. Long through your spine, head over the top of your pelvic floor. Oh my goodness, this is athletic motion. This is why laying on the roller resets the body into being short in the lower extremities, long in the upper extremities. So it teaches you how, once again, to shock absorb. Your next job is to turn on your core, your pelvic floor. That's your first chakra. I want you to activate it. Close up third chakra, that's your rib cage. And with your second chakra, you're breathing. That's your middle and lower abs. Feel what it feels like to have those knees bent. How much of the day we lock them out and then we round out our spine. Then it creates anterior head carriage. We're countering that. Just gently take your hands over the top of your head, whatever height you can do it at. Keep your spine against the roller. That's the most important part. So your hands could be here, I don't care. But your spine is against the roller. Abs are nice and tight. Let gravity do the work. Just be long. Reach over the top of your head to the wall back behind you. Now take your arms out to the side, same thing. I want you to reach out as far as you possibly can. Keep your abs engaged. Your head's over the top of your pelvic floor, your legs are bent. That's what we've been working on this whole class. And then finally, just put your arms to your side. Shoulder blades are down and back, abs are nice and tight. So athletic ready position is more difficult to access once you lose it than you think. But as we've seen through this whole class, that good posture and athletic balance are one and the same. So as you work through the week, I want you to really focus on good posture, because as you do it, you're working on athletic balance. And then once you can add motion, and it's primarily from your hips, a circular motion, you now have athletic balance and athletic motion. Keep breathing. Feel your center. You guys stay on your roller. I'm going to come off my roller and bring you guys home. Life is not something that happens to you, as we found out in this class. It's something we allow. We allow good things, we allow great things, we allow abundancy. But we also allow disease, stress, worry, woe, all sorts of things that we can invite in because we allow it in. So, in these last few moments in really good posture, allow health in. Allow breath in. Allow healing in. Allow abundance in. Just get in the habit of receiving what you want because you had an intention of receiving it, not because it's what came along. And just breathe. Because now you're heading towards meditation. So on behalf of Maria and me, we wish for you a day that you allow wonderful things to happen to you, health to imbue into your body. We appreciate how willing you are, how open you are, and how you show up. Thank you, and from the bottom of our hearts, namaste.